Okay, y'all, listen. This is your girl, Latrice. Yes, with the nonprofit organization, Imagine Me, y'all. Imagine Me came about, let me see, from an inspiration, a personal story. First of all, I was a teen mom of times two, meaning like two daughters before I even graduated high school. And so I always had it in my heart. I always had it in my mind. I always had it in a vision. It was something that I knew that I was going to do. I knew that I was going to create something, create a space. And this channel right here is going to be space for education. It's going to be space for awareness. We're going to have conversations. We're going to have a little bit of everything that you could possibly consider or think about. And I want you to get all the information that you can get. You may have some questions. You may say, oh, I didn't even consider that. I didn't even think about that. Well, that is what normally and typically happens when you are a teen parent. Okay. So today, my guest that I have with me is my girl, Essence Britton. Y'all, I was just telling her before we hopped on, I was like, oh my God, I've been following your journey. I really love what you are doing with your business. I love that you are caring for the babies. I'm all about caring for the babies in a special and in a careful way that God has given us to place those babies. So when you come in contact with somebody, y'all, that like cares for your baby intentionally, y'all, you might want to figure out, what is she doing? What is she about? How does she do that? And what tips can she provide? So let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. Let me have her to introduce herself a little bit more, y'all. Tell you what she's doing, what she got going on. Go ahead, girl. Take it, Essence.
Hello, everyone. And I just want to thank you, Latrice, for having me on
Thank
Imagine
you.
Me. I appreciate it, and I'm humbled to be a guest on your show. And my name again is Essence, and I am the owner of SheCares Daycare. We've been open now for 6 years. And now we have finally acquired a full property, a house. We were in home, finished basement, and we've just acquired a full home to do our childcare program out of. So we are on that journey now where we're
Yes.
growing, and I'm excited about it.
I'm
And
excited for you, girl. Oh, yes.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, she is located since I plan on going globally with Imagine Me, y'all. She is
Mhm.
in the heart of our city, Kansas City, Missouri. So just wanted you to know, because I know some people are like, well, where are you at? Where are you
Right, right.
at?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, okay, let's get a little bit of history on why you created She Cares. I actually like the name. When I hear She Cares, I'm like, that's right. Like that would be a big attraction for me to say She Cares. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, for real. So tell me, what was the story behind that?
So what made me really get into one, I can say it's kind of like a two-piece thing. One, my child care provider, she just, even to this day, means everything to me. You know what I mean? Still
Ooh.
at my age, she just cared for us, while our parents were at work, and she fed us well, and, looked out for us well. And we
Ooh.
had friends on the block. It was a little different back then, when I was coming up, daycare was a little different, but, we were always in good hands. We weren't hurt. We weren't in any kind of, and I just always felt that, love in her care. So, shout out to Aunt Mamie, you know.
Yes.
Man, she's still around, and I'm just grateful for her. She's a part of my foundation. And
Yes.
also,
Yes.
what made me get into childcare was just seeing how sometimes how underprivileged our children, as African American children, can be
Ooh.
when it comes to things that we have access to. And so I wanted to be able to show that our children can have quality programming too. You know what I mean?
Ooh, you better say
We
that.
don't have to just have, just the bottom of the barrel. We can have quality programming, just like other top of the line or top chain childcare
Yes.
companies. So, and we do, we have some African American childcare providers that are doing their thing in Kansas City. I
Yes.
just wanted to contribute to that.
Come
So
on now. Yes. Look, you said a lot of wonderful key points. I love how you said she's a part of my foundation. And that is
mhm,
so true. Because when you think about childcare, you think about your family. You know what I'm saying? You want the
mhm.
best added on. You know, if you got to create a village, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a village, you know, in
Yes,
some kind of way with our children. So we have to make sure that even who's caring for my child in my absence while I'm at work is good. In this
mhm,
case, we are targeting towards teen parents. So, of course, we're looking at like, while I'm in school, who's going to care for my child? You know what I'm
right,
saying? I need
right,
somebody in place of, because let's just say probably 9 times out of 10, even the support system, the direct support system of that teen parent probably has to work too. So, you know what
right.
I'm saying? So, hey, there was a time, and in some cases, some people still have their family members, and everybody become all hands on deck, with caring for the child. So, in this unique case that we're talking about, teen parents, give me just a couple of things on what you would advise them to really take a look at when they're looking for someone to care for their child and be a part of the foundation.
So one, I just would say when you're starting to research, you can maybe even start researching while you're pregnant. You
Oh, you better say
know,
that.
take a look at the providers that you hear great reports on, that you've asked, your friends and family about. Start watching them over time. Don't wait until your child is here and then go around searching. Just, because consistency is everything. And, people have to be consistent. You can only
Absolutely.
pretend for so long. So
Yes.
if it's that situation, so I have people that I've spoken with that tell me they've watched me for 6 months to a year before they
Hey,
contacted me.
there you
Um,
go.
so that means by the time they contact me, they're ready. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yes.
So
Yes.
I would advise, young mothers to start seeking out these providers and taking a look at their records, go and look and see what their background is online if you can, and see reviews about the provider, Google their name or, put it in the Facebook search engine.
Yes. Come
See
on,
what
somebody.
comes
Yes.
up on those providers. So I just say do your due diligence when it comes to the research on the child care provider that you select. Don't just take people's word. Don't take a commercial. Don't take a picture. Do your diligent research on your provider.
I love that. I love that. Especially when we are in such a world of social media. It's so
Mhm.
easy to just kind of look from afar and think that
Mhm.
what you see is what you're going to get, or think that it is
Yes.
what it is. But like you said, to
Mhm.
really take the time, I love that. That's great advice, and research. And
Thank you.
do it while you're pregnant. You know that you got this situation going on. You know that, hey, I want to continue school, which I tell y'all,
Yes.
continue school, stay in school, y'all. There are people that will support, and there are people who
Yes.
will, hey, stay in
Have
school. So you
your
want
back.
somebody, yes, you want somebody that is, like Essence said, consistent, consistent, because
Mhm.
you have a consistent job that you need to do, and that is to stay in school consistently. So you definitely need somebody that that's going to care for your child. So
Yes.
I love that, looking for research. So speaking on that, would you recommend for a person, well, I would say a teen mother and or a teen father, because that's who we're going to serve. We're serving
Mhm.
both. Would you recommend that they keep it in the family? As far as, I'm gonna keep my baby with my mama, even though, let's speak hypothetically, because this is something that I do hear a conflict on. We're gonna go ahead and go there. So some people they bump heads when they mother. I'm just thinking, because that's how it was for me. My mama did things her way, old school way. And I would be like, no, don't do my baby like that. Y'all all right? And I would be like, you know what I'm saying? I may not want my baby to take a pacifier all day, or I may not want that particular thing for my baby, or I may not want how you feed my baby, you know. And now I look back on that, I'm like, dang, I wish I had some type of I wish I would have sat down with somebody and created a plan, you know, on what
Mm-hmm.
I want and for somebody to respect my wishes on
Mm-hmm.
what I want for my kid. So what would you recommend? Would you say keep it within the family and go forward? Would you say that if it's a problem, how do you talk to your parents, village, support system, family, whoever? What would you recommend on that?
Well, it's not a problem if you guys can work together.
Oh, there you go. You got to work it.
So, I mean, and that's on either side of the fence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can have providers that will not, that don't provide like you would like. But you also could have family, like you said, that could do that as well. So that again goes into that research. I don't think you want your journey for your child and to be tumultuous journey. If
That's
you get
right.
what I'm saying, you want that to be a peaceful journey. So, if you're blessed to have a family member that you trust to keep your child,
Yes.
go for it. I was blessed. It's so funny that you are saying, and I'm just saying this because she didn't even know. She didn't even. We didn't even talk about this before we did this program. But I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 16.
You better
And so I was blessed.
essence. Look,
She didn't even
y'all.
know.
Look, when I tell y'all, God be God, okay?
Yeah, we talked about childcare, so that's what this interview was about. But to say that I was blessed to have my mother and my daughter's father, I had a great village as a teen mother, and so they did keep my child until she was able to go to school. So
Yeah.
I didn't even have to deal with childcare between my mom and her dad. That's where she was. So she was with family. And I was blessed to have that, situation. So it just depends, you what because you may have family that will, but you don't like the way, you know what I mean, that they're caring for your child and they may be better off in a program. That
Yeah.
environment may be better off for them to be in a program. So you just have to weigh your options.
You do. I love that so much because you're right. I was actually blessed too. That's one thing
Mhm.
that I do hear a lot of people they find so grateful,
Mhm.
look back and say, "Oh my God, I am that I didn't have that problem." You're right. I did not
Yeah.
have the issue of having to deal with my mother and my grandmother. They took care of
Mhm.
them girls. You hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some things because I'm a different woman now. I look back and I'd be like, I wish my mama didn't giving my babies that or this or whatever. But
Mhm.
other than that, I overall, I'm very, very happy. I'm very
Yes.
blessed that my family was still able to support me in that way. Because you're right, that's probably one of the big child care. That's a big issue for a lot of people. Like
Mhm.
for real, that
Mhm.
is one of the huge reasons why some people can't work or go
Yeah.
to school or you know what I'm saying. That's
Mhm.
one of their biggest hang ups. If somebody in your family says, "Who gonna watch your baby?" Because I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You stuck. Like you know what I'm saying. That is
Yeah.
like that is what can't make you move. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
really definitely want to make sure that you're right about that. That was a blessing. So I say to y'all, be blessed in that area. If you definitely have somebody like you said and it works out for y'all, that's a blessing. But if you need programming, do your research, do
Mhm.
your due diligence on that. So is there anything that you can say looking back that you probably would have wanted different or you wanted more of, or I don't know, anything looking back that you would have wanted for your baby at that time?
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that.
Yeah,
I
you like,
can't. She really no. She was really taken care of very well. She was very spoiled. Um, overly spoiled. Like even my grandparents were still living at that time.
Mhm.
And because I was such a young mother, they were very hands on, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So she was just very loved, you know what I mean? From my parents to my grandparents
Yeah.
to my siblings to her dad's side, like, you know, to my other set of grandparents. Like she really was so, like, I couldn't have asked for anything different in the situation I had being a teen mom. Like that I really thank God for my situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think about do you think that there is a limit, an age limit, or would you like on who can care for your child? Like would you say, don't do, like I can tell you this. Let me say this for example. I
Mhm.
remember when I got married, and this was way down the road. And I also do have a son as well. He's 13 though, but my husband and I had considered, could we possibly have a baby, And this is of course a little bit off of on the teen because we grown women at this point, but but that was one thing that put a halt, just pretty much stop it, was we were like, who's gonna watch our baby? Because we were so used to having parents watch, and
Mhm.
we were like, oh my God, my mama's too. No, I wouldn't put that on her like that. Like
Right.
she can't get around like that. My mother-in-law, I think she was actually at the time she was working, so we were like, oh no. And then no, we were like, if we couldn't have that, we were like, oh, this ain't gonna work
Yeah.
out for us. So
Yeah.
do you feel like you should stay away from that? Like, if you shouldn't just say, here, Grandma Ella, and knowing good and well she's on crutches, she's in a wheelchair, she can't get around.
Well, yeah, you definitely want to consider that. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? You definitely want to consider that because of cases of emergencies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just something you want in both situations. For the elderly person in the situation, or the infant in the situation, or the child, the toddler. If they're barely getting around themselves, that might not be the best situation. Of course, to each its own. But
Have you seen some cases like that? Do you know any personally where you like, ooh, that's unsafe?
well, that don't have to be elderly for that to be the case.
Oh, you better. Hey, hey, I mean, I'm telling you.
I mean, that's all across the board.
Okay. Hey, you said
That,
that.
so,
You
uh,
right,
yeah.
right, right.
Yeah, you just want to pay attention to whoever you have caring for your child.
You
You know,
do.
that
You do.
that's just from young to old, from rich to poor, from however, married to single. You want to zoom in on that individual
You
that you are
do.
allowing to watch your child. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't just put the baby out because you're trying to get ready to go and do what you got to do. No,
Yeah.
that child need to be safe. Oh, and that
Yeah.
person. You see, it
Yeah.
goes both ways, like you said, and that person too. So
Hmm.
you gotta be mindful of that.
Hmm.
Do you have any advice or anything that you want to share? Any just final thoughts about what you want people to? What is something that you think like, you know what? I really truly wish that this was something that people more so considered, that they really, I don't know. You know what? One thing I'm just thinking, and one thing I think of is I think about communication is so key. Sometimes I see some cases where people are like, I guess it's so important for your child care provider to know who you are, know who everybody is a part of that child. You don't
Hmm.
want a situation where dad is y'all off and on, you and dad got your problems, he going up to get the baby, and the provider is like, oh, I don't know. I just know so and so come up here for the baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything that says that you get, but yeah, he's like, well, that's my baby essence. Run me my baby and stop playing. So, what cases do you see? Have you seen any cases like that where you're like, you know what? make sure y'all got that straight when it comes down to putting whoever need to be listed. What would you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, there have been times, where there are custody issues or things like that. You know what I mean? And you just make sure that you stay in the clear. You follow the legalities of licensing, and parent pickup. Whoever fills out the application for the child is responsible to put the people on there that are authorized to pick that child up. And so you as a provider should have things in place, for that not to even be an issue. You know what I mean? For them to even just be allowing anyone to come and pick the child up. So you should know, hey, like for instance, our system at SheCares is each parent, we have an app that we use where parents is electronic and they can sign in and out.
Okay.
Um, they have to, one, the parents have to contact me beforehand to say, hey, I'm sending somebody, this is their name. In some cases, they'll send a picture, this is the person that's coming. But
Okay.
also, they have to know a PIN number to be able to.
Oh, yes.
And so if somebody comes to pick up a child and they don't know that they have to sign this kid in or out with this PIN, then that to me is an alert that you haven't talked to the parent.
Come on now.
So, and that's red flag. So there should just be systems in place. You
Yep.
should have things in place to prevent those things. And if things get out of hand, you always contact the authorities.
There
So,
you go. Hello, hello. I like that. She said,
mm,
listen, y'all, make sure you find somebody, you go with somebody who got systems in place for security's sake.
mhm.
SheCares got it trumped down tight. Okay. We got to add, you need to call me, you need to send a picture. I don't care what y'all got going on. Tyrone,
Yeah.
you ain't on the daddy. I mean, you ain't on the babies. I don't know. Y'all work that out. But I'm just
Mhm.
trying to give the baby who the
Exactly.
baby was given dropped off to me with. That's it. That's all
Mhm.
I know to do. So I like
Mhm.
that, having that safety and that security for that child is everything. So yes, I am going to let you go, girl. I appreciate you so much. I mean, you dropped the bomb on me when you said, look, I see you because I was with you. So I'm like, yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
So do you have any final thoughts, anything you want to say before we hop off?
Well, again, I appreciate you having me. I enjoyed myself on this conversation. It was
I
really
did too.
fun and very informative, and I, think people will get something from it. And that is it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in to another Imagine Me. And you need to make sure you stay connected so that you can see what is the next little bit of something that I got for you. So, all right, bye, y'all.